On, guys. All right, we have a jam-packed show tonight. We have the entire Going for Two team, it seems like, on tonight, as well as our contest winner from about a month ago. And we are doing a live redraft mock draft, so stay tuned.
Fantasy football, you dealing with the best. Keep it hype, authentic, this ain't nothing like the rest. With the Armchair Fantasy Show podcast, give advice for all the listeners to improve your stats. Yeah, we live on GoingFor2.com. Tuesdays and Fridays, this is what you want. Talking dynasties and daily drafts, and we just getting started, that ain't even the half. Yeah, so go ahead, tell your friends to join. Going for two, cause no one remembers the extra point. Hey, GoingFor2.com, the Armchair Fantasy Show.
What's going on, guys? All right, welcome to episode 161 of the Armchair Fantasy Show. I'm your host, of course, Jeff Lambert. You can follow me on Twitter at JeffLambert77, presented as always by GoingFor2.com. We are live starting next week, Wednesday and Friday, on Facebook Live, Periscope, and of course YouTube, syndicated on all major podcast networks, and streaming in the completely new redesigned Going for Two app for iOS and Android. As I mentioned at the top, guys, we're doing a redraft mock draft tonight. We've got 5 great analysts coming on tonight. Well, 4 and Ryan. So we're gonna intro the group really quick. Ryan, we'll go to you first, man. What's up, Ryan?
Not much, man. We're single digits away from football season, and it doesn't feel real because of no real preseason or anything. But it's freaking awesome, man. How can you not be excited? Agreed,
100%. And I'm just going to go to the 6 box here, so that way I can keep everybody on screen. We also have tonight Going for Two's own Gladys. Gladys, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Milwaukee tied. It's all good.
It's tied now? I know they were down. Also joining us from GoingFor2.com, Jared. What's up, Jared?
What's going on, man? Just same boat as Ryan over there, man. Just excited for football. Excited for the smack talking and excited to be here. So thanks for having me.
Yes, definitely. And Going for Two's own Alex. What's up, Alex?
What's up, guys? How's it going? I'm Alex, aka Mr. Fantasy Dimes, right? Just excited about all the NFL news dropping on a Wednesday. Lucky us.
Right. Exactly. And I mentioned our contest winner. So about a month ago, we had a contest for analysts on Twitter that had under 1,000 followers. It was an elimination-style contest, and the winner of that contest was Mr. Brad Martz from DynastyVipers.com. What's up, Brad?
Not much. Just happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. All right. So, as mentioned already by Alex, there was a couple news breaks right before we got on the podcast tonight, and because we are so jam-packed, we're going to go ahead and get into that real quick.
News and notes from around the league.
News and notes, of course, is always brought to you by BUSR Sportsbook. Sign up today at BUSR.com/GoingFor2 and bet on everything from horse racing to the NFL. BUSR also has the best prop bets for all major sports. You can even bet on this year's election. Visit BUSR.com/GoingFor2 and get a welcome bonus up to $500. Again, that's BUSR.com/GoingFor2. All right, so we'll go with the really big news that just broke right before the podcast. Of course, we knew Fournette got released a couple days ago, and now he is officially, or maybe not officially just quite yet, but pretty much guaranteed that he's going to be signing with the Bucs. Ryan, I'm going to go to you first. Give me from the Jags perspective first on the release. What does it do for the players that are there at the Jags?
I mean, the Jags are in full tank mode, right? I mean, they lost their best defensive player a week ago. They lost Fournette now. Gardner Minshew's going to throw 600 times a game, so I'm all for that in fantasy. But it's a one-year thing. They're going to get Trevor Lawrence or whatever QB they feel like they want. But it's the Jags, so they could screw it up. So that's why I'm saying maybe not Trevor Lawrence. But, they're done, man. And for Fournette, I'm happy he got out of that terrible situation. He got $3.5 million prove-it deal. It's good for him. He'll have a year there and then go wherever he wants, hopefully get some more money. But Jags are done, man. There's nothing there. They're going to get killed this year.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. I think if you're in redraft league right now that's already drafted, if the Colts right now are out there as a streaming defense, go ahead and pick them up because they got the Jags in week 1. So the Colts are going to be a good defense for week 1 to stream. Alex, I'm gonna go to you on the Buck side of things. What do you think about Rojo and of course Keyshawn Vaughn, the rookie there? What are your thoughts on what it does to those guys?
So, we're looking at a logjam now, bringing in Fournette, a guy who, can get 15 to 20 touches, at any moment in any game, right? I think it hurts Rojo's value and definitely hurts Keyshawn Vaughn, especially in a coaching system where he doesn't value rookies as much as the veteran guys, right? But that being said, I think overall, if you look at the Bucs, is it a case where you have too many mouths to feed, or is it going to be just an explosive offense, the likes of which Tom Brady has never had before, right? So either way, it's an exciting time. The hype train is real for the Bucs right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's blowing my phone up right now. Every league I'm in right now is talking about it. It's pretty crazy. Jared, let me go to you to get your thoughts on this a little bit. What are your thoughts on what it does to those guys at the Bucs? And go ahead and talk about the Jacks a little bit as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a hybrid approach here. So I'm very high on DJ Chark, even more than before. That's one of your main targets to go get. Anyone in that receiving core is the direction you want to take from the Jags side of things. From the Bucs side, I completely say the Rojo shares and the Keyshawn Vaughn shares are just deflated. I don't think we're going to see anything out of Vaughn this year. At best, it might be a dynasty hold for me. But as far as Ronald Jones is concerned, we might see him more on the PPR approach, possibly take over that James White role similar to what we had in New England.
Yeah, good call on that. So Gladys, let me go to you. Let me say, let's say you own Fournette in a dynasty or even in a redraft league. I
own him for 4 redraft leagues.
You own him for 4 redraft. All right, so we're going to get the real truth here. Are you happy about this signing as a Fournette owner, or would you rather him go somewhere else?
No, God, no. I'm ecstatic about the signing with Tampa. I mean, he averaged, 17 carries a game last season? He's not going to have as many passes, I don't think, out of the backfield, but I don't care because they're just going to give him the ball, and he's just going to run with it. And in a Tom Brady offense, they're not going to be able to stack the box. Yeah, I love Fournette at the Bucs.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep, good stuff. Yeah, I mentioned before we started the show that I had him in my Scott Fishbowl league, and when he got released, I'm like, please just sign with somebody, anybody. Don't make me waste my pick. But thankfully, he did sign, and I'm good to go now. I think as far as where he could have landed, I think that was probably one of the best spots for him because we had
the most touchdown upside.
Agreed.
Like, he doesn't need to have 300 carries to give you fantasy value because he's never been in the red zone that much before.
Agreed.
I don't know. I would have loved to have seen him with Bill Belichick, see what they could have done there, right?
No,
I own too much Damian Harris. I own too much Damian Harris. I don't want to see that.
Thanks for shutting that down quickly.
All right, Brad, I'm going to go to you for this next topic. We kind of beat the dead horse there with the Fournette thing, but about a couple hours ago, Mohamed Sanu got released from the Patriots. What does that do for the receivers that are there? Like the N'Keal Harry, Damiere Byrd is there, of course, Julian Edelman. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that one was kind of surprising. I've been scooping him up late in the draft, so I anticipate this opening up targets for Harry. I'm not sure who's going to slide into that number 3 role, but Edelman can make a huge. He's going to get his 100-plus targets regardless. And James White should lead them in targets also. He's probably going to see 100 targets in the backfield.
Yeah, that's a good call. I agree 100%. I think I kind of called this a little while ago, actually, with the Sanu thing in the contract. I want to say he was due, $6 million, $7 million this year, and he had no dead cap. There was just no reason to keep him if he wasn't going to be a contributor this year. And with N'Keal Harry being a second year, of course, Julian Edelman is going to do his thing, and Damiere Byrd has been kind of showing out in camp a little bit. He's got rapport with Cam Newton from their days in Carolina, so I think Mohamed Sanu became sort of the odd man out. Ryan, what are your thoughts there with the cut of Mohamed Sanu?
I mean, are they looking like another team who's just cutting players and possibly in that tanking run too? And
no one wants to say it because it's the Patriots.
And no one wants to say it's the Patriots, but that team is lacking talent. I know Cam's there, and that made you believe in it a little bit, but there's not that much around him, man. I mean, Sanu might have been washed. We don't know that. I know there's been reports he was killing guys, but that's just camp talk.
Yep.
Maybe he's washed.
Yeah,
they don't want him.
There's a conspiracy theory that I put out there that Belichick doesn't want to quote unquote tank because he's Belichick, so he told half his defense to opt out and then cut half of his offense, so they'll just have to lose all their games and not actually look like they're losing their games. So that's kind of my conspiracy theory there. All right, guys, we got a ton of stuff to get to tonight, so that's all we got for the news and notes. I do want to quickly plug, next week we are going to twice a week for the Armchair Fantasy Show, but we also have a new show that we are starting a spinoff called the War Room Live Show. We're actually going to be live. This podcast will be live pretty much every night except, I believe, Thursday. So kicking off Thursday football next week, we're going to have the War Room live with Jay and Dan. They're going to kick off the War Room live pregame show at 7 o'clock. And then on Friday, of course, we have our DFS show is going to kick off with me, Gerson, and Tim. Saturday, we get a day off. And then Sunday morning, actually, Ryan, Gladys, and our other Dan, the B League, as we call him, is going to be opening Sunday morning. And then Monday night, Gladys is going to be on again with Kyle and Dan as well on Monday nights. And then Tuesday night, Gerson is going to be doing a waiver wire report on Tuesday. So we got so many things going on this year. Like I said, we're going to be coming at you live pretty much every night except for Saturday night. It's going to be a lot of fun, so be on the lookout for that. And as I mentioned, we're going to do a mock draft tonight, redraft mock. A couple things I wanted to just mention real quick. We're doing this on Sleeper, and I'll be posting the Sleeper mock draft once we're all completely finished. But there is a twist to it tonight that I kind of created. Basically, I've sort of designated a few players from each round that are going to be kind of a daily double trivia type question. So when they get selected, I'm going to hit the daily double buzzer right there, and then we're going to then I'm going to give them 4 categories to pick a trivia question for their favorite.
Got the Star Wars blasters.
Yeah.
He just likes pushing buttons.
I just like pushing buttons. I do. So yeah, I got 4 categories that I'll give you for your favorite team that you're going to try to answer those questions. And then at the end of the podcast, whoever has the most questions right, I'm going to donate $25 towards our charity, the GoFundMe page that I have set up for Toys for Tots. I'll do it under your name. So that'll be just a way to kind of make this mock draft a little bit funner. Without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into the mock draft here. I'm trying to pull it up so I can get it started. Brad, you're actually going to be kicking us off here. You got the 101 since you are the guest here. If I can get my... There we go. All right, Brad, you are on the clock at 101. Who are you going with here?
I went with McCaffrey. Pretty straightforward pick for me.
Yeah, I agree. There's not much intrigue there, that's for sure. Alex, you're up at the 104.
So 104, fun spot to be at, right? All the elite running backs are still here, right? So the choice of what are you going to do, right? Because of the situation going on with Kamara, I'm not comfortable taking him, and I think it's a little early for Cook or CH or CEH, right? The way I have him ranked. So I think it's Barkley all day here. So I'm going to go with Barkley.
Yeah, good pick there. And I should have mentioned who was taken. So Christian McCaffrey went 101. Michael Thomas surprisingly went 102. Ezekiel Elliott 103. And then Alex just took Saquon Barkley at 104. Immediately after that, 105 goes Dalvin Cook. And Gladys, you are up at the 106.
Since this is a PPR league, I am going to disregard all the chatter around Kamara and take Kamara.
Nice. I like that. And he's been going pretty high. I think he slipped a little bit because of that news. At 106, if I'm getting Kamara, I'm definitely ecstatic for that one. Next up is Jared at the 109.
Yeah, so, this is a fun spot to be in just because of seeing who fell. And I would get mixed responses on the whole Clyde Edwards-Helaire situation and how people are so high on him. And, I see the opportunity being there and being vast, but I am not sold on rookies being as dominant as Saquon in the beginning. So, with the PPR league, I think it makes more sense to go Devontae Adams with what we know and one of the true studs in the PPR game for wide receivers.
All right, we got our first trivia question here. All right, and Jared, you're a Cowboys fan, so I got 4 categories here. Quarterbacks of the 2010s, running backs don't matter, draft picks, and team records. Which category you want to go with there?
The second one.
All right, running backs don't matter. So Zeke has led the Cowboys in rushing since coming into the league in 2016. Who is the Cowboys' second leading rusher during that same time period? I need some Jeopardy music. 30 seconds.
Sure.
He's trying to Google it right now.
No, I'm not going to cheat. I refuse to.
You said, like, is his backup runner, or is it like
just the second leading rusher for the Cowboys, whoever that is? It could be
of all
anybody.
time?
Of the time he's been playing since he came into the league in
Okay.
2016. Who is the second leading rusher during that same time frame? All right, time is up. Second leading rusher during the time frame that Zeke was the leading rusher is Dak Prescott, if you can believe that. So
Wow, I wouldn't even got, I was still, yeah, I guess that makes sense with the title you made, running backs don't matter, but man, I wouldn't have guessed that. I'll eat that loss with pride.
All right, good stuff. All right, so you made your pick. Ryan, you are now up at the 111.
So I kind of hate it right now because we have 8 running backs off the board already. There's been a serious run, and I'm not missing out. I know he's slightly beat up, but them not making a move for Fournette or anybody else kind of makes me feel better. So I'm thinking Miles Sanders. He's such a stud. He has the pass game upside. They've talked about him to be the focal point of that offense. There's no receivers there because they're all injured. Give me Miles Sanders. I trust him there.
Yeah, I like that.
I'll have a good chance of getting a nice wide receiver on the come round, so I'm not that worried.
Yep, and now you are up at the 202. Are you going with receiver here?
Well, yeah, running back one again to keep it going, and I don't want Nick Chubb here just because I think it's just a little high with him being in the split backfield. So I'm going to go with Julio Jones, give me some safe side to go with Sanders. Julio's a lock for 1,300 plus yards and 6 to 7 touchdowns. I know what I'm going to get. He's my floor play to go, Sanders.
All right, and you get your trivia question. And I'm up. I apologize. I'm not giving a recap of the draft. I'm doing a poor job here of hosting for the people listening in audio. Let me recap the first round, Ryan, before we give you your categories. So obviously Christian McCaffrey went 101, Michael Thomas went 102, Ezekiel Elliott 103, Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs. Big line of running backs right there. We break it up there with Devontae Adams at the 109. CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, goes at 110. Ryan takes Miles Sanders at 111. And then back-to-back picks go Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon. And then, of course, Ryan comes back with Julio Jones at the 202. And your trivia question, Ryan, same categories. Quarterbacks of the 2010s, running backs don't matter, draft picks, or team records?
We'll go running backs don't matter.
Running backs don't matter. All right. Since 2007, there has been only 2 running backs to lead the team in rushing for a season more than once. Ray Rice is one. Who is the other? I need some music here, so I don't want this dead air on the.
I know. This is. God,
Time is up.
I have no idea.
Justin Forsett led 2014 and 2015.
I'm so mad. I thought he was only 1 year.
Nope, he led the next year too with like 800 yards. He didn't get a full 1,000, but he still led the team in rushing that year. All right, so far everybody's 0 for 2 on their trivia questions. All right, let's see where we're at. Jared, we're at you at the 204. Your first pick was Devontae Adams. What are you going to go with here?
It's so challenging to have to go wide receiver here, but I am on the Aaron Jones anti-production train. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's due for touchdown regression. I think the hype with AJ Dillon could be real for goal line and short to go situations, thus rendering him even less productive than we anticipate. So you have to go elite here, and I think DeAndre Hopkins is the guy in this scenario. Just to go elite wide out,
Nice.
even in Arizona at a new home.
Nice, I like it. And you got your drink of water, and you got your trivia question. All right. So you already used your running backs don't matter category. So now you have quarterbacks of the 2010s, draft picks, or team records. What are you going to go with?
First one, quarterbacks of 2010 is fine.
All right. In 2015, the year before the Cowboys drafted Dak Prescott, this former Patriots quarterback started 7 games for the Cowboys, the most starts of any QB that season.
Drew Bledsoe.
Nope. I knew you were gonna guess that, but that's not right. It was actually Matt Castle.
Oh,
Yeah, he started 7 games that season. I couldn't believe it either. I thought it was Drew Brees as well, but yep, it was Matt Castle that year.
damn.
All right, let me recap where we're at so far. So at 201, Joe Mixon went. 202, Julio Jones. 203, Tyreek Hill. 204, DeAndre Hopkins. Travis Kelce immediately after that. Then Kenyon Drake. And Gladys, we are up to you at the 207. What are you doing here?
I am going to go tight end. I'm going to go George Kittle because he's pretty much what San Francisco has for tight ends, for catchers, for receivers. He had, 107 targets last season or something like that.
Yep.
I don't think that hamstring is going to hurt him that much. I think he's going to get as many targets, if not more, especially since he got paid. So, and after Kelce and him, maybe Ertz, the tight end, gets really shallow.
It does. It definitely does. And
right now.
he was back in practice today, and he said that the reports were that he looked sharp, so that hamstring injury is not going to bother him. But I got to hit my sounder here. I think this is
We're knocking these out early.
Yes, we are. All right. So you're the Steelers fan, obviously, because you're wearing the Steelers hat. So same categories: quarterbacks of the 2010s, running backs don't matter, draft picks, and team records. Which one you want to go with?
Let's go draft picks.
Draft picks. All right. Antonio Brown was selected in the 6th round of the 2010 draft. What receiver did they take in the 3rd round in that draft and is still playing in the league?
Ooh, I know that if you don't.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yes, we got one right finally. I was hoping I didn't make these too difficult. Good one. All right, so Gladys has 1 point. Nobody else has any yet. All right, so you went George Kittle. Right after that, Nick Chubb went. And now we are up to Alex at the 209. Your first pick was Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, so at 209, right? Last year there was only 2 players that went above 400 fantasy points in PPR, right? The first guy went off the board at 1-1. So the second guy still being available at this spot here is going to be value for me, right? And that's going to have to be Lamar Jackson, right? Some people don't like going quarterback early, but again, over 400 points, I can grab him in the 2nd round. I don't see why not. So let's do that.
All right, good stuff. Lamar Jackson off the board. Immediately after that is Aaron Jones, and then Chris Godwin. Brad, we haven't heard from you in a while at the 101 there. You have the pick at the 212. What are you going to do here? You got Christian McCaffrey in your 1st round pick.
I was hoping to go back and back. They stand out in the big 3 there. So probably leaning wide receiver with Kenny Golladay.
Kenny Golladay, that's a good pick there to couple it with Christian McCaffrey. And you get your first trivia question. Let me see. I got to remind myself. You are the Patriots fan?
Yes.
All right. So same categories: quarterback of the 2010s, running backs don't matter, draft picks, or team record. Which one are you going with?
Go with quarterbacks, please.
Quarterbacks. All right. From 2002 to 2019, only 3 quarterbacks not named Tom Brady had at least 1 start. Name all 3.
Ryan Hoyer?
Nope.
No.
Yep, that was already wrong. Matt Castle, Jacoby Brissett, and Jimmy Garoppolo were the 3 quarterbacks that started during that time frame. All right, and you are back up on the clock at the 301 after going Kenny Golladay at 212. Who are you going with here at the 301?
I'm going to double up on the receivers. I'm going to take Adam Thielen. I think he's going to have a ton of targets in Minnesota with his only other real competition between the tight ends and a rookie. So.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, Adam Thielen should be another target monster again this year, I'd imagine, as long as he can stay healthy. James Conner went 302, David Johnson 303, and we are back to you, Alex, at the 304. Your first 2 picks were Lamar Jackson and Saquon Barkley, which it's a pretty good start. You could possibly have the number 1 running back and the number 1 quarterback in the league this year. So where are you going with the 304?
All right, so here, you have your, battle with yourself saying, I still don't have wide receiver. Should I take wide receiver here? We got Mike Evans, Allen Robinson, and DJ Moore still available, as well as Odell. And then, you look at your running backs available. You got Chris Carson, Todd Gurley, Jonathan Taylor, and then Leonard Fournette, newly with the Bucs. So you're kind of looking at all those, and you're trying to see who you value more, whether it be your wide receivers or your running backs. In this instance, I think we can get a little bit more value for a guy like Chris Carson. So I think I'm going to go double running back. And I feel like wide receivers this year are really deep anyway, so I can grab a better wide receiver down the road. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Chris Carson, right? He's in a run-first offense, and he's the main guy. So, I love him at the spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think he claimed on Twitter that he's 100% healthy from that hip injury as well. All right, and I think is this your first trivia question, Alex?
This is the first one.
All right, so yeah, same categories. 2010 quarterbacks are the quarterbacks of the 2010s. Running backs don't matter. Draft picks or team records. What you got?
Let's go quarterback to the 2010s.
All right, from 2006 when Romo first became the starter to 2016 when Dak Prescott became the starter, only one QB not named Tony Romo started more than 7 games in a season. Who was that quarterback?
That started more than 7 games?
Started more than 7 games in one season.
Dang, that's a tough one.
Maybe I made these too hard.
You did.
Sorry.
Tom Brady?
Nope. It was John Kitna.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that. Yeah.
All right. And we are, let's see, where are we at? 306. So after Chris Carson, Patrick Mahomes off the board. So both the top quarterbacks off the board now. Gladys, you're up at the 306.
So I'm going to go Allen Robinson because I believe that Nick Foles is going to be the quarterback. And Robinson has performed with lesser quarterbacks named Trubisky. So I think he will be fine with Nick Foles.
All right. So let's see.
Oh.
Steelers. Let's see. You already used up the draft pick one. So you have quarterbacks of the 2010s. Running backs don't matter or team records. Which one you going with?
Running backs don't matter.
Running backs don't matter. All right. Le'Veon Bell had his first 1,000-yard rushing season in 2014. Who was the last running back to do it before that? Have a 1,000-yard season before Le'Veon Bell.
The bus?
Nope. Rashard Mendenhall.
No, Mendenhall?
Yeah, Mendenhall had his. I think it was his second year in the league. He had a 1,000-yard season. All right.
Man.
I'm crushing y'all on these trivia. I'm sorry. I thought I was making them somewhat easy. I should have gone multiple choice maybe. Maybe I should give y'all some multiple choice questions here.
Yeah, that would be
No.
Yeah.
Can I have a vote all in to throw tomatoes at Jeff at the end of this? Or?
All right. So after Allen Robinson went, we had Todd Gurley go at 307, Mike Evans at 308. And Jared, you're back on the board with 309. You went Devontae Adams and DeAndre Hopkins in your first 2 rounds.
Yeah, so I'm in a little bit of a bind here because you're tempted to go running back, right? And I was actually eyeing up Allen Robinson because he was the 3rd most targeted wideout in the league last season at 9.6 targets a game. So the temptation was very high there. So kudos to Gladys on a great selection. I'm not comfortable with Fournette, going with Fournette this jumping right into a whole new system, taking time to acclimate. So I think that's very premature. And as far as any remaining running backs, it actually has me greatly on edge. Again, the whole rookie running back thing, I'm not comfortable even with Taylor taking over and running right off the rip. So unfortunately, I feel my hand played and forced to actually go wide receiver again. And what better person with the talent in Carolina and DJ Moore? And the reason why I'm going that route is he's a target hog. He's a target machine. I've been seeing and reading reports on Curtis Samuel struggling. That narrows it down to literally Robbie Anderson on a deep ball, and then you have DJ Moore getting peppered at targets and still using that yak ability that he has. So I have to go wide out yet again, even though I had zero anticipation of going 0 RB so far.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this a strategy? Because you've gone 3 receivers now, Adams, Hopkins, and Moore. I mean, that's a great receiving core, but you're going to be hurting that running back here pretty quickly.
Indeed.
Right after the 3... Go ahead.
And the other reason Jared took him is because he knew it would piss me off.
I'm not shy to admit that. Actually, I'm gonna open a beer right here. I'm actually gonna stand up and get a beer, so I'm drinking to that. So here we go.
All right. Right after the DJ Moore pick went Jonathan Taylor at the 310. Ryan, you're up at the 311.
Yeah. So I know Jared just kind of mentioned the little bit of fear in Fournette new system. The drop off after Fournette is significant. I don't like that. Plus, the fact is, we know what Fournette does. Everybody in the world knows what Fournette does, and that's pound the ball between the tackles. That offense is going to be high-powered. He's going to have red zone chances. I don't care if he gets 1,000 yards, but I could easily see him getting double-digit touchdowns. So I'll pair him with what I have with Miles Sanders.
All right, good stuff. Leonard Fournette is a daily double.
Of course it is.
All right.
I'll go QBs.
You know, QBs. All right. In 2015, 4 different QBs started games for the Ravens. Joe Flacco was one of them. Name 2 of the other 3.
2 of the in 2015.
2015.
So Ryan Mallett.
That's 1.
I think I'm too early on the year. But is it Tyrod?
Nope. I think you're a year early.
Obviously,
It's Matt Schaub and Jimmy Clausen.
I blacked Matt Schaub out of my head because I have a just utter hatred for that dude. He's so bad at football. Ouch. Yeah.
All right. So far, Gladys is the only one to get one of these questions right. So Gladys is going to ride that 1 point out, it looks like. All right. So immediately after Leonard Fournette went Odell Beckham Jr. at the 312. The 401 was Juju Smith-Schuster, and we're back to you, Ryan, at the 402.
So what's left? I had one wide receiver I've been eyeing up for a good bit now after, I had obviously DJ Moore, but I said it earlier. There's one of the receivers I was looking for there, and that's Amari Cooper. That offense is high-powered. I don't care they had a CeeDee Lamb. They have 3 guys who could easily get 1,000 yards this year with how much they throw it. Amari Cooper is run after the catch. He's proven. He gets wide open, and he has those monster games. So I can have him as a boomer bust wide receiver too to go with Julio, kind of giving my team this huge ceiling with a nice floor.
Nice. I love it. All right. At the 404, Jared, you are up. So after Amari Cooper went Calvin Ridley. And, of course, Jared, we mentioned your team earlier as all receivers so far, Adams, Hopkins, and Moore. You have to go running back here, right?
So, well, first off, I want to point out we have Ryan Searfoss talking up a Dallas Cowboys player. So I just want to make sure we all understood and heard that. So,
yeah, I always talk up Cowboys players. I love Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb.
You've been high on Gallup since the draft. I will give you that. So, I'm a little bit blinded here, but I'm going to stay true to what I believe with rookie running backs not making as big of an impact early on and even midway through the season. Should it result in a timeshare of sorts, I am still going to be high enough on the team's highest rushing attempts in the league, even though Lamar was part of it. I got to go Mark Ingram here. I still think he's impactful. I still think he's going to be the difference maker for at least this season before Dobbins takes over full war curse duties in 2021.
And you're up for a trivia question. All right, let me see. Which ones have you gone already, Jared? Yeah, so you took
I'll do draft picks this time.
Draft picks, all right.
So, yeah, let's do that.
Since 2013, the Cowboys have drafted a skill position player in the first 3 rounds only 3 times. CeeDee Lamb was one of them. Ezekiel Elliott was the other one. And in 2013, this draft bust was the other one. Who was that third player? I'll give you a hint. He was a tight end.
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
Gavin Escobar.
God, see? Man.
Yeah.
I was going to go like Marion Barber or something like that, man. I don't know.
Dude, Marion Barber was great.
Yeah, next time I do this, we'll do multiple choice questions, because obviously I made these too difficult. All right. So right after Mark Ingram goes Raheem Mostert at the 405. The 406 is Melvin Gordon. And Gladys, right now, the trivia master at the 407. What are you going with there?
One answer. One. I'm going DK Metcalf, mainly because I think that he is going to surpass Tyler Lockett in targets. I think he's going to be the red zone target. I think he's going to be the end zone target. I think he will come down on his drops significantly this year, and I think he will score lots and lots of points for me.
I love DK Metcalf. I think I actually have him in my top 12 this year. I think he's going to be a beast.
Yeah.
All right. Right after DK Metcalf goes Cooper Kupp. At the 409, we're at you, Alex. And so far your team is Saquon Barkley, Lamar Jackson, and Chris Carson. What are you going here?
Stacked, right? That being said, so I've taken 2 running backs, taken a quarterback. I'm looking at Le'Veon Bell as a top player still left, but I'm not liking him, right, in his situation. So I got 3 guys I'm looking at. DJ Chark, I got Scary Terry, and Cortland Sutton, right? All number 1 guys, but one of the guys I've been really high on this year is DJ Chark, right? And as my kid would say, DJ Chark, right? So
Nice.
we got to go with that, right? So DJ Chark, he should be a beast this year. So he's one of the players I'm really high on.
Good stuff. All right, so I'm gonna give you one of these hard trivia questions. You got running backs don't matter, draft picks, or team records left.
Let's do draft picks.
Draft picks. All right, this is a long one. From 2010 to now, the Cowboys have drafted only 2 receivers that have gone over 1,000 yards. Des Bryant in 2017, Michael Gallup in 2018. There's only one other receiver drafted during that time that even has more than 1,000 yards in his entire career. Who is that player? I think you're on mute, Alex.
Well, what was the time frame? 2010, 2016?
Yep, 2010 to now. So there's 2010 to now. It's been Des Bryant and Michael Gallup, the only receivers that have had 1,000 yards. There's one receiver that's had 1,000 yards in his career during that same time frame. A Cowboys receiver.
Oh man, I'm forgetting his name, but little guy, blonde hair, slot guy. What was his name?
Cole Beasley.
Cole Beasley. Yeah, Cole Beasley.
No, unfortunately, it was Terrence Williams. Williams, and I think it was 2013-ish. I think he had 1,000 yards. All right, and let's see.
Wow, that's crazy.
Let's go to let's see what you picked. Shark. Right after that, it was 410. Mark Andrews. 411. Le'Veon Bell. Brad, we're back up to you at the 412. So far, your team is Christian McCaffrey, Kenny Golladay, and Adam Thielen. Where are you going here at the 412?
I'm kind of on the other side of the fence with rookie running back. Being a guy who builds hundreds of draft profiles, I've got every college carry some of these guys have had. I'm going to double up with Cam Makers and
Cam Makers, you said, for 412?
Yeah, and DeAndre Swift. I think they both dominate carries regardless of game, especially Swift in Detroit with Kerryon Johnson on a healthy knee brace right now.
Good stuff. It was actually for Cam Makers. I wanted to wait till you finished up with Swift. So what do you want to go with for your category?
Running backs don't matter.
Running backs don't matter. All right, from 2011 to 2019, only 2 Patriots had over 1,000 yards rushing. Name one of those 2 running backs.
Gotta be Stephen Ridley, LeGarrette Blount.
Yep. Actually, you got both of them, LeGarrette Blount and Stephen Ridley. Good stuff. All right.
Give him 2.
That's awesome.
Give him the bonus star.
Good stuff. All right, so right after his picks of Cam Akers and DeAndre Swift, we go Robert Woods, Terry McLaurin at the 503. Alex, you are up at the 504. Your team so far is Saquon, Lamar Jackson, Chris Carson, and DJ Shark.
All right, so I mentioned 3 guys before making the last pick, right? And we've turned the corner, and there's still one of them available. Cortland Sutton, right? So I love him in Denver. I know a lot of people might be thinking, hey, they drafted 2 guys, 2 wide receivers out there. Drew Lock is still going through, learning phase. But, I think Cortland Sutton's going to do just fine. We saw an example of that last year. I think he's going to continue on that trend. And he's only gotten better. So I'm definitely going to go Cortland Sutton here.
All right, good stuff. I love Cortland Sutton this year for sure. All right, after Sutton goes Devin Singletary at the 505. Gladys, you are up now at the 506. Your team so far is Alvin Kamara, George Kittle, Allen Robinson, and DK Metcalf. What are you going here at the 506?
I'm going to go Kareem Hunt, running back, because I think that he only played in 8 games last season, and I think his target ratio will go way up this year. I don't think he's going to take Chubb's place as far as rushing, but I do believe he's going to be pivotal in the passing game, and he's going to be Mayfield's kind of out for when he gets rushed by his leaky offensive line. So I'm going Kareem Hunt.
All right. A chance to add to your 1 point here.
1 point? Yay. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
I want the quarterbacks. That's all I have left, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's it. So
okay.
This should be an easy one. At least it is for me, because I was a big fan of the XFL. This former XFL quarterback started 5 games for the Steelers from 2015 to 2017.
2015 to 2017. Charlie Batch?
No, it was Landry Jones.
Damn it, that was my other choice.
All right.
I thought Landry Jones was earlier.
Nope, yeah, 15 to 17. I think he started a couple games. I think that was when Vic was there too, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, let's see where we're at now. So right after Kareem Hunt, David Montgomery at the 507. The 508 is A.J. Brown. Jared, we're up to you at the 509. And just so y'all know, this is the last round of the trivia questions. So if there's any more trivia questions, this is the round we're going to get them in. So 509.
I'm on the edge of my seat, Jeff. I'm on the edge of my seat. Maybe I could go for the coveted 0 for 4.
That's what I'm shooting for.
Now on this one, this is almost a no-brainer for me, just because of the we'll call it training camp horror stories that the Eagles are having. So literally, the only target that has veteran leadership that can help the Eagles at this point and right now has to be Zach Ertz, and the trust that he has built and established with Wentz too. And I just see him still being that top guy. And tight ends, really, obviously, as we know, one of the tougher positions to solidify on a team. Once you get through the top 5, it kind of tapers off a little bit. So for those reasons, I'm going Zach Ertz.
Nice, I like that pick there. All right, Zach Ertz off the board, and then right after that is Tyler Lockett. Ryan, you're up. You so far have Miles Sanders, Julio Jones, Leonard Fournette, and Amari Cooper. Where are you going at the 511?
I actually did a post about him today on Twitter. I'm taking Keenan Allen. I know people are kind of afraid of Tyrod. They're kind of afraid of Herbert. But guess what? Quarterbacks like them, especially Tyrod, they like to throw wide receivers who are open. And Keenan Allen's a tactician. He knows how to get open. He creates separation. He's ranked in the top 10 in contested catches, which nobody talks about. And he's just a good safety blanket for whatever quarterback's there. He's still going to see 100-plus targets, and at this price, he's a super value for me.
Love it, love it. Last trivia question of the night right here, Ryan.
Draft picks.
Draft picks. All right. Since drafting wide receiver Mark Clayton in the first round of the 2005 draft, the Ravens have only drafted 2 receivers in the first round since. One of them was Hollywood Brown. Who was the other?
Rashard Perry, man.
Ah, there you go. I did that one just for you.
Do we have a 3-way tie?
Yes, we do. We'll have to figure out some way of tie breaking.
Nah, there's no tie breaking, Jeff. You're throwing down. You're spending money, bro.
Wait, hold up. Brad answered 2 of them.
That's right. Yeah, he did get 2. We gave him the bonus because he had both running backs. So I think he wins the round here. All right,
Nice.
so right after Ryan's 5'11", Keenan Allen, Dak Prescott goes at 5'12", Marquise Brown goes at the 6'01". Ryan, you're back up at the 6'02".
So I really wanted Hollywood there, but I'm kind of torn. I love Stephon Diggs. I don't think he's going to be as bad in that offense as people are making it seem. But right now, Arizona's looking like they're going to be chucking the ball around everywhere. And I love Kyler Murray here. We're late enough in the draft. I'm comfortable taking a quarterback, give myself an advantage there. He's going to throw the ball close to 600 times, and he's thrown some great targets. I'll take him all day there to kind of even out my starting lineup. Just need a tight end really to fill it out now.
All right, good stuff. And since we are kind of getting deep in the draft here, I do got to take a quick commercial break, guys. We got to pay some bills, so hold tight. What's up, everyone? Jeff Lambert here, and I want to tell you about Society Socks. Is your sock drawer kind of boring? I know mine is. Society Socks is a men's sock subscription company that sends 2 pairs of exclusively designed socks to your door every month. These socks are made of a warm, soft, and comfortable blend of combed cotton, guaranteed to make your feet feel and look great. At the office or the bar, your socks are sure to be a hit. You might be wondering, why are they called Society Socks? Well, that's the best part. Socks are one of the most needed and least donated items at homeless shelters. Society Socks aims to change that. With every pair of socks purchased, another pair of socks is donated to homeless shelters. So on top of receiving awesome socks every month and amping up your sock drawer, you are actively making a positive change in society. With 2 surprise pairs of socks arriving at your door every month, you'll begin to grow an impressive sock collection. Visit mysocietysocks.com/armchair and enter our promo code ARMCHAIR to get 50% off your first subscription. Put an end to boring socks and subscribe today. Again, that's mysocietysocks.com/armchair and use promo code ARMCHAIR. All right, guys, welcome back. We're here with the whole Going for 2 team. It seems like we got Gladys here, we got Alex, we got Jared, of course Ryan is here, and Brad, our contest winner, is here as well. We are now up at we're at the 604 now. But before we get to that, let me promo one last time here, guys. The Going for 2 Grinder Championship DFS contest for week 1. We went over the $1,000 mark raised already. I think now we're almost at $1,200 raised. If you go to GoingFor2.com/grinder to join the contest. The belt is beautiful. It's for a good cause. It's for Toys for Tots. Sign up. We have 1 week left before the season starts. If you want to win this belt, go there and sign up. GoingFor2.com/grinder. All right, we are up at the 6th round. We're at the 604, and we're up with you, Jared. So far, your team is Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, DJ Moore, Mark Ingram, and Zach Ertz. What do you got here at the 604?
Yeah, sure. So on this one, you kind of got to go for your ceiling. I call it the go for the third win. And seeing some of the other higher tiered guys, so I was eyeing Murray and Prescott next, and both actually went. So I feel a little bit forced and really comfortable going with Deshaun Watson here for twofold. One, he's still a dual threat quarterback. 2, that Texans defense has shown nothing as far as stopping offenses. So I anticipated either being a shootout or the Texans playing from behind, which maximizes the opportunity for Watson to be able to carry you into the promised land. So I'm going to actually get Deshaun Watson here.
Nice. I like it. Good pick there at the 604. Immediately after that goes James White, the 605. The 606 is Darren Waller. And we're back to you, Gladys. Alvin Kamara, George Kittle, Allen Robinson, DK Metcalf, Kareem Hunt is your team so far. What do you have here for the 607?
Well, I wanted Deshaun Watson, so thanks, Jared.
I got you.
So I'm going to go with Russell Wilson. I mean, they didn't do any favors for him on his offensive line, so I don't know that he'll have as much time to throw, but he still has Metcalf, he has Lockett, he got Olsen, and he's still going to get the running yards. So I feel not as comfortable as if I'd had Watson, but I will take Russell Wilson in this round and be okay with it.
I like it. All right, after that, 608 went T.Y. Hilton. At the 609, we're up to you, Alex.
Okay, awesome. So top player right now available is still Diggs, right? And then you got Dobbins and Devontae Parker. Based on who I have available, I'm kind of looking for a high ceiling potentially, right? And I haven't taken a tight end yet, so I like my boy Rob Gronkowski on there, right? So coming off fresh legs, right? Took a year off, going back to Brady, possibly his favorite target of all time. So I don't see how I can go wrong with Brady here. So he'll be my first tight end I take. And, I really like Rob as a high upside guy.
Good stuff. All right, 609, Rob Gronkowski goes, and then 610, Stephon Diggs. Marlon Mack at the 611. And, Brad, we are back up to you. So far, your team has got some good running backs, some good young running backs here. You got Christian McCaffrey, of course, at the 101. Kenny Galladay, Adam Thielen at the 212 and the 301. Then you grab back-to-back rookies with Cam Akers and DeAndre Swift. Where are you going here at the 6-12?
I'm going to start to round out the roster a little bit. I'm going to draft Matt Ryan, my quarterback. It was going to be Rob Gronkowski, tight end, but I'm going Evan Ingram.
All right, Evan Ingram at the 7:01 and Matt Ryan at the 6:12. Immediately after that, J.K. Dobbins at the 7:02 is off the board. Devontae Parker at the 7:03. And Alex, we are back to you at the 7:04.
Okay, want to send a quick shout out going out to the Going42 crew, right? You guys inspired me, so we're going to go JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm never drafting that guy, right? So I'll never draft that guy. That being said, we got a few players available. One of the guys I really like is Will Fuller. Whenever Will's been healthy, him and Deshaun Watson have had a great connection. The guy's a deep threat on every single play. I like him as the number 2 receiver. I got 2 other good receivers, so I'm going to go Will Fuller here.
Nice. That's a little inside joke, guys, with the Going42 team. It's a group chat that we're in, and we have a certain writer that likes to talk up JJ Arcega-Whiteside. We always give him a little bit of shit. Yeah, it's a big topic. If he has a good season, I swear we're all gonna look like idiots.
I think Jeff should fire. I think Jeff should fire him so we don't have to hear about it.
Yeah, we'll never hear the end of it.
We will never hear the end of it. That is for sure. All right, Will Fuller 7:04, Antonio Gibson 7:05. Gladys, we're up to you at the 7:06.
Hold on, let me check my team. I'm gonna go Tyler Boyd.
Oh,
I like that.
Because
we're even, Gladys. We're even now.
No, of course not. I think that, well, at least the rumors coming out are that him and Burrow have a good chemistry going on right now. Plus, Boyd's had 2 back-to-back really good seasons. AJ Green coming back isn't going to hurt his target share at all. I think AJ Green at the most will be a decoy if he even gets on the field. He hasn't played in 2 years. So I think Boyd is going to be the man in Cincinnati, and I think they're going to be a lot better than people think they're going to be. So, yeah, I want Boyd.
All right, good stuff. I think that passing offense should be good because their defense is not very good. They're going to be playing a lot of catch-up, so any receiver you can get in that offense is going to be good.
That's a lot.
Yeah. All right, right after that goes Julian Edelman, Brandon Cooks, and then now we're back to you, Jared, at the 7:09. Let's recap your team. Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, DJ Moore, you went 0 RB. Then you got Mark Ingram at the 4:04 as your RB1. Zach Ertz, your tight end at the 5:09. Deshaun Watson at 6:04. Where are you going with the 7:09?
I'm still dodging running back. I think the value here you got to maximize with your flex spot with the 3 wideouts selected now. And what better way than another target hog in Jarvis Landry? We've seen Odell Beckham continually being dinged up, continually trying to play through injuries. Yes, Stefanski's in there. We might see a little more 2 tight end sets, and there's a lot of worry about so many mouths to feed. But I'm not sold on the fact that Hunt's going to take away too many targets. I'm not concerned of the fact that Austin Hooper's going to take away too many targets. So someone has to catch the football, and it's got to be Jarvis Landry here. All
right, good stuff. Jarvis Landry goes, then Michael Gallup at the 7:10, right before Foss goes. I know Foss likes him, but of course he has Amari Cooper, so he probably wouldn't want Gallup anyway. Miles Sanders, Julio Jones, Fournette, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Kyle Murray is your team, Ryan. Where are you going with the 7:11?
All right, so if you look at the Falcons' offense, they had 616 pass attempts last year, and other than actually, I just realized I have Julio. That doesn't work for me. So I take back everything great I was about to say there. Son of a biscuit. I'm gonna go wide receiver here. I know Debo's been a little bit banged up, but
it's a good pick.
He's gonna be back, and there's no other targets there. There's Kittle, and that's it. And he was fantastic last year. He had the chance. I'll buy into him, man. I like what I saw. If he misses a few weeks, he misses a few weeks. Hopefully I can overcome that with what I already have on the field. So I'm going to go with Debo there.
All right, good stuff. After that goes Tyler Higbee at the 7:12. And my app just crashed for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that.
Zach Moss went next.
Zach Moss went next, and then you're back up on the clock, Ryan. And we're at the 8th round right now, so we're going to have to go speed rounds here. Quick analysis, give us your pick so we can get through this entire draft here. So 8:02, you're on the clock, Ryan.
Cool. I am adding some running back depth. I'm going Philip Lindsay. I don't fully believe that Melvin Gordon's going to take over the shares of the rushing there. Lindsey's done nothing but produce in his 2 years as a starter, and he has pass catching upside. So I'm going to go with him because that team's going to still try to protect Drew Lock a little bit.
Good stuff. AJ Green goes to the 803, 804. Jared, you're up.
Yeah, so Foss and I have had discussions on making a trade for Lindsey at another point, and I actually share the same sentiment. So that was split between him and having to go running back a second time, and I have to go Chase Edmonds here, and the reason being Kenyon Drake being dinged up. We're talking about him still holding a role in the offense, and he's proven, even though he's not proven to be a workhorse back, he's proven to still provide some upside and points where need be. So for my second running back, I'm going to gamble a little bit, go with Chase Edmonds.
Love it. After that goes Drew Brees at the 805. 806 is Deontay Johnson. Gladys, you're up at the 807 speed round. Who you got?
CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver. I think he's that
man.
Cowboys offense is going to be passing some more, and I think Lamb is going to be number 2 wide receiver at best. So,
nice.
CeeDee Lamb.
Nice, I love it. Hayden Hurst at 808, 809. We're up to you, Alex.
Okay, so over the past couple of days, there's been some good news coming out of Chicago, right? Well, maybe not good news, but good news in the position that I'm in right now, right? So Tyreek Cohen's available here for me, right? We also have Jordan Howard, Tom Brady, Matt Breida. And out of all these guys, I think Tyreek Cohen, considering that Montgomery is a little banged up, it's a good opportunity to take him there, right? And then if Big Rick Nick plays, right, if he's going to be the starting quarterback, I think that gives him more upside too. So definitely got to go Tyreek Cohen here.
Love it. All right, Tyreek Cohen with the board, then Tom Brady at the 810, Tevin Coleman at the 811. Brad, you got the back-to-back picks, 812 and 901. What you got here?
812 is going to go upside on receiver with Mecole Hardman. And for I'm going to do a little running back depth with scoring, but Jordan Howard should get it in the touches.
All right, so Mecole Hardman at the 812, Jordan Howard at the 901. Matt Breida right after the Jordan Howard. That's interesting. They're on the same team, right? Back-to-back picks. Marvin Jones Jr. at the 903. And Alex, we're back to you. Let's recap your team. Saquon Barkley, Lamar Jackson, Chris Carson, DJ Shark, Cortland Sutton, Rob Gronkowski, Will Fuller, and Tyreek Cohen. Who do you have here at the 904?
So we've seen running back by committee, and we've seen the guy who plays the goal line carries have good seasons, right? So I think that's one of the reasons why I'm going with my guy here. Probably the first rookie on my team, I think. But A.J. Dillon, I think, is going to be taking a lot of those red zone carries, right? So I like him in Green Bay. I like his opportunity that he'll have. A lot of word coming out of camp is that the guy's great, so I'm going to go with that.
All right, A.J. Dillon. Emmanuel Sanders after that, 905. Gladys, you're up at the 906. Let's recap your team. Alvin Kamara, George Kittle, Allen Robinson, DK Metcalf, Kareem Hunt, Russell Wilson, Tyler Boyd, CeeDee Lamb in the 906. Who do you got?
Kerryon Johnson. I think that Detroit's offense, again, is going to be playing from behind a lot. But I think that Kerryon Johnson will lose touches, but in this instance, with Stafford back, he will be okay.
Yeah, I think at this point, I think the value is there for Kerryon Johnson. We obviously think that he's going to be hurt by DeAndre Swift, but yeah, I think Kerryon Johnson at 906 is a pretty good value. Aaron Rodgers goes next to the 907. 908 is Hunter Henry, and Jared, we're back to you at the 909.
Yeah, a little bit not crazy about it, but he's done enough to make an impact for me to, actually want him on my squad. Between the epidural from Alvin Kamara and the injury history and the uneasiness the Saints have, I gotta be confident just taking Latavius Murray, just a little bit of more of a security blanket, and then targeting that Kamara owner as a potential trade spot after.
Love it. Latavius Murray at the 909. Ryan, you are up at the 911. Josh Allen was sandwiched in between you and Jared. Where are you going with the 911?
I'm going to go somebody who I'm not really going to talk about because if you've listened to the show at all, I've talked about him beyond belief. That's Justin Jefferson. I love him there. He's on every team. Like, I just keep getting them somehow. So,
All right.
Yeah.
All right. The 10:02 now. What do you got?
Good wide receiver again. I'm taking Christian Kirk. I know D Hop's there, and we think he's going to fall off. But Larry Fitzgerald is 37, and they're going to throw the ball an absolute ton. I'll pair him with Kyler Murray, and he's still going to see a lot of volumes. I can still see him into 90 to 100 targets, possibly more, because he's going to be working out that slot. They don't run tight end, so he's going to be the safety blanket. He's going to work underneath routes. I like him there. His run after catch is great, and he has upside.
All right, I love it. So after that Justin Jefferson pick, I forgot to mention Damian Harris went at the 9:12, Henry Ruggs at the 10:01, 10:02, Christian Kirk just went, Jamison Crowder at the 10:03, and we are back to you, Jared, at the 10:04.
Yeah, so I was, weighing the option between Crowder and Slayton. Now my decision's made for me. Slayton's shown the rapport with Danny Dimes and continues to be the workhorse wide receiver. Even though we had injuries with Evan Ingram, they had injuries with Sterling Shepard. That's kind of reinforces the fact that Slayton should be the WR1 there. And even if he isn't, the value for the selection is worth the risk. So I'm taking Slayton.
All right, I love that pick there. That is like a crazy late value right there. I would have probably drafted him a lot sooner. After that goes Sony Michel, then Jalen Reagor, the rookie from the Eagles, and then back to you, Gladys, at the 10:07.
I'm going to go with Noah Fant, the tight end from Denver. He was second in receiving yards and targets last season. Under three not so stable quarterbacks, now he has Drew Lock, who he had a good rapport with towards the end of the season, even though his targets went down. I think he will be okay even with Jerry Jeudy there. He will either be the second or the third choice. I think he'll get his.
Yeah, I like Noah Fant this year, especially at the 10th round. That's an awesome pick. Alexander Madison goes to the 10:08, and then the 10:09. We're up to you, Alex.
All right, so this pick inspired by my boy Alex Pickish, right, on one of my other fantasy groups, right? But the ability to get number one running back in the 10th round is, really good, right? So I'm beyond happy on that. But Adrian Peterson, right? As you guys already know, right? Whenever there's been injuries and stuff, he's taken over for the Washington football team, and I think it's going to be the case again this year, right? So I'm looking for him to have 15 to 20 touches a game, and for him to dominate that backfield and get those red zone touches. So I'm going to take AP there.
And you heard from all the...
Is there any way we can mute Alex from here on out? I don't want to hear him talk.
I was going to say, from the moans and groans you heard, everybody else wanted Adrian Peterson too. But yeah, when you can get a number one running back in the 10th round, you can't pass that up. Carson Wentz goes at 10:10. Matthew Stafford at the 10:11. Brad, we're back to you at the 10:12 and the 11:1.
I'm going to go with the pair wide receiver. First, Jerry Jeudy. And with the vacated targets in New England, I don't think I'm going to go with Perry.
All right, so yeah, good two picks there. Jerry Jeudy, the rookie, at the 10-12. N'Keal Harry, who I love. I've talked to him a bunch of them on the show. I love N'Keal Harry this year, especially now with Mohamed Stu being dropped. He pretty much is guaranteed to get some volume. Right after that goes Sterling Shepard, Jared Cook at the 11:03, 11:04. We are back to you, Alex.
Okay, so I've heard several people say that San Francisco just has George Kittle right now, and I just don't think that's true, right? I think we see Brandon Ayuk, as I call him, right? I think we see him doing well in that system. He's like a mini Deebo Samuels. I think he's going to have a similar route tree, and I think from the get-go he's going to be targeted just because of injuries and whatnot, right? So I like him at that spot, right? And I'm definitely going to take Ayuk in here, right?
All right, good stuff. 11:04 is Brandon Ayuk. Bryce Love at the 11:05, and Gladys, we're at the 11:06.
I'm going to take Chris Thompson. With Fournette gone, Thompson's share has to be bigger, and they're going to be throwing it, and that's Thompson's wheelhouse. So I'm going Chris Thompson.
Love it. I think as long as he's healthy, he's definitely a good pick. His problem is his health. It's always been an issue with him. After him, what was that?
He's going to be healthy.
He's going to be healthy this year? All right.
Yeah.
All right, Darrell Henderson goes at the 11:07. Boston Scott at the 11:08. Jared, you're up at the 11:09.
Absolutely brutal. I was really just excited to click Boston Scott. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely brutal. So at this point, given my disadvantage, we'll call it, at running back, I'm not thrilled about it, but similar to Alex's analysis with going with a quote-unquote RB1, but a less proven one, I'm going to draft Raquel Armstead just for the laughs of saying, hey, he has the best opportunity to start between a oft-injured Chris Thompson and an unproven James Robinson. That leaves Armstead unless there's another signing from like a Devontae Freeman we might see. So in the short term, I got to go Armstead just for the value in the gamble.
All right. Armstead up the board, then Tony Pollard at the 11-10, and Ryan, you're up at the 11-11.
I'm taking the real wide receiver one in Miami, Preston Williams. He was nothing but a stud when he played. He was really good coming out of college. I'm all for it. And I know I have a billion wide receivers and all, but you know what? I still got some time left to fill my tight end spot. I'm taking Anthony Miller. I've always liked him. He works well underneath. He's a good route runner. There's been nothing but glowing praise out of him in camp. And kind of like I said earlier, I trust Nick Foles, and Nick Foles loves to throw those slot receivers, and he's going to be eaten down there.
Good stuff. After Preston Williams goes Alan Lazard, Naeem Hines at the 201. I'm sorry, the 1201, and then Ryan, you're up at the 1202.
That was my Anthony Miller pick. We're at.
You're right. Sorry, you're right. My screen's a little delayed there. 1203, Cam Newton goes, and then 1204. We're back to you, Jared.
Yeah, so we're back to I hate to go so wide receiver heavy here, but we're back to the value meets or possibly exceeds the expectation, but you got to go Bryan Edwards here. I was high on him from the beginning. His fit in the offense seems to be almost to the point where he's competing with the Ruggs for top dog. And as far as injuries concerned, the Tyrell Williams injury just opens up the opportunity for the big-bodied receiver in Bryan Edwards. The hype, the excitement, I've been in since the draft. The second he landed there, I was thrilled that he went. So I got to go with my guy in Edwards.
Nice. I love it. He's been getting a ton of hype this offseason. Right after him goes Daniel Jones, Deshaun Jackson. And just for those of y'all listening right now, we're going 14 rounds, so we're almost to the end here. We're coming down to the nitty-gritty. We're not doing defense and kickers, so don't worry about that. 1207, Gladys, we're up to you.
I'm going to go, since this is PPR, I'm going to go slot guys now, just because they have the best upside, I think. So I'm going to take Randall Cobb over Cole Beasley, mainly because DeAndre Hopkins is gone. Those targets have to go somewhere. Cobb's is reliable, and he is in the slot. So, yeah.
Yeah, great pick there at the 1207. Good value. Austin Hooper at the 1208. Alex, 1209. Where you going here?
All right, so these latter rounds, right? You're looking a lot at your bye weeks and trying to figure out how your team fits and is going to be put together for the season, right? So one of the reasons why I'm going with this pick is I'm just looking to have a good backup quarterback at this point for bye weeks. One of the guys I've been really high on is, who I consider to have probably the second most stacked offense other than Tampa, and I think that's going to be Baker Mayfield, right? He had a little bit of an off year last year, but I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's accurate. I think he'll come back this year with a stronger year, and he'll be better, right? Kind of like how we saw him with the rookie touchdown record his rookie year, right? So I think Baker's going to have a bounce-back year.
I love that pick. I mean, the 1209 to get Baker Mayfield is ridiculous. I think he could have gone much earlier than that. 1210, Duke Johnson off the board. 1211 is Joe Burrow. We are back to you, Brad, for the 1212 and the 1301.
Well, we'll grab a second tight end and Mike Gesicki. Probably throw a second quarterback. Yeah, I'm going to grab Jared Goff as a backup quarterback.
All right, Mike Gesicki at the 1212, Jared Goff at the 1301. TJ Hawkinson goes next at 1302. Keyshawn Vaughn, who just lost some value today, got the 1303. And we're back to you, Alex, with the 1304.
All right, so again, with the same narrative of making sure that, I got my, situations covered at my important positions, right? So, Eckler's a good guy, but if we've seen anything from him is that he's a little injury prone, right? So we got Justin Jackson right behind him. I like Justin Jackson in the 13th round. I think he's an important handcuff to have, and I think he's got huge upside too. Right, he's an injury away from taking over as the number 1 guy, and we've seen him on DFS lineups do great before whenever Eckler wasn't available. So I think we're gonna have to go Justin Jackson here.
I like it. The upside is definitely there, especially for the 13th round. Next pick is Ben Roethlisberger, and now we're back to you, Gladys, for the 1306.
That was my pick. So.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Drew Lock because they did nothing but give him weapons this season. So if he doesn't perform well, it's all on him, and I think he will. He's got all kinds of receiving weapons out there. The defense is pretty stable, so I think Drew Lock will be a good replacement quarterback. I think he'll be good for the number 2.
All right. And right after that goes right after that goes Jonnu Smith, then Sammy Watkins, 1309. Jared, what you got here?
What better way to be wild card than pairing your, oft-injured starting tight end with another oft-injured hype tight end in Chris Herndon. So, no one. Yeah, thank you. No one else is really good there in the Jets to catch the ball. I mean, we saw Mims come back from practice, but rookies trying to learn the system early and often, not very promising. And really, from what I understand and all the reports we've all seen, he's targeted one of Darnold's favorite targets along with Crowder. So I got to go Herndon here.
All right, late round tight end there with 1309, Chris Herndon. Jarrett McKinnon goes next to the 1310. Ryan, you got the 1311 and the 1402. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with the guy I thought Jared was setting up with his intro there. I'm taking Dallas Goedert. He played really well last year. Hit 600 yards at tight end position as the number 2 tight end there. And he's still number 2 tight end, but they run a lot of 12 personnel. They don't have many healthy receivers. And I have him still in my top 12 tight ends this year. So I like him there. So give me go there.
Dallas Goedert goes, and then, of course, Steven Sims Jr. is at the 1312. Marquise Valdez-Scantling is the 1401. And now you're up at the 1402, Ryan.
A lot of gross things outside of wide receiver. There's a wide receiver I really want. I already have 7 on my team, and might be a little bit overkill. So I'm going to take the handcuff in Kansas City and Darrell Williams. If something happens to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which I don't want to see, and nobody wants to see, he's an instant impact player and borderline RB1 category guy. But he gives you some value now because he is going to get red zone work because he's a bigger back. So I don't hate him there. I don't love him, but it is what it is on that pick.
And so, yeah, the 14th pick, you're not getting anything that's going to make an impact unless there's probably injuries. Jack Doyle goes next at the 1403. 1404, what's your last pick, Jared?
Yeah, so as a Deshaun Watson owner, even with Laramie Tunsil in there, he's running around with his head cut off. He's still getting pressured. He's still somehow taking these hits and not getting hurt. But I need my safety blanket, so I need a backup quarterback here. And probably the most slept on, underrated, underappreciated quarterback in this draft and many fantasy drafts is Ryan Tannehill. The guy is one of the top quarterbacks facing quarterback pressures. The play action keeps defenses on their heels with Derrick Henry running the ball. And let's be honest, man, he's been one of the top quarterbacks from the time he started till the end of season. He's often going overlooked, and I own him in 2 of my teams in leagues on my own. So I got to go Tannehill here.
Yep, I like it. The 1404, Ryan Tannehill. 1405 goes John Brown. 1406, Golden Tate. Gladys, you're up at the 1407 with your last pick. Who do you got?
I think I'm going to take the rookie wide receiver out of Jacksonville, the one from Colorado, Chenault. I don't see him. Hold, please. On my list.
I think you got to type him out.
No, he's on here. Somewhere.
He doesn't want associated with Steelers fans.
He loves the Steelers.
If you just do the little magnifying glass, you can type his name in and it should show up.
He was on here. He was good. But, all right, I can't find him, so I will go somewhere else. I will go with Claypool. Oh, he's right above Claypool. No, I'm going Chenal out of Jacksonville. He was injured in the draft time. That's why I think he dropped. But he has excellent hands. And like I said, with Jacksonville being the dumpster fire that it is, they're going to be just throwing the ball everywhere.
Yep.
So he should get some targets.
Agreed. Right after that goes Brashad Perriman, 1408, 1409. Alex, your last pick.
All right, so I really considered going Eric Ebron or Cole Kemet here, but I couldn't believe he fell to me, right? I thought with 5 spots to go that Michael Pittman Jr. wasn't going to come to me, right? But we got Phillips Rivers is going to be the quarterback over there now, right? And if you look at his history, he's always excelled with a big wide receiver and throwing to a guy, 6'3" and bigger, right? If you look at T.Y. Hilton and Paris Campbell, they're both listed at 5'10" or 5'11", if I'm not mistaken. So Michael Pittman Jr. here is going to look like a ball hog to me if Rivers continues on his trend of throwing to his big wide receivers, right? Something we've seen him do his whole career. So I got to go Michael Pittman Jr. here. Great rookie, huge upside, so I like him there.
Good stuff. And then right after that goes Josh Kelly for 1410, 1411, Paris Campbell. And the last pick, Mr. Irrelevant Brad, 1412.
JJ.
Or Siegel Whiteside.
Do it.
I think you're on mute, Brad. I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
James Washington with Pittsburgh.
James Washington. I like that pick. I like that pick a lot. I think people are overlooking him. All right. That wraps up the entire mock draft. We did go over a little bit over an hour, but that's okay. We had a lot of fun. Let's go around the room really quick. Give us your Twitter handle. Tell us where we can follow you, what you're working on. Gladys, we'll go to you first.
Okay, my Twitter handle is @NeverEnoughGLT, which actually kind of sounds like a porn site, but it's not. It's so come and I write for GoingFor2, of course, on players, and if you need IDP or defense, I do Fake Pigskin. And then the LFAB network, I write about the Chargers. And just a quick shout out, Ryan Druid, the guy who runs the LFAB network, his daughter, his baby, Mia, had heart surgery. So if you guys could send out like good vibes to her.
Definitely.
Just like this big.
Wow, definitely.
Be appreciated.
Prayer sense. Jared, let's go to you. Where can we follow you at?
Rico_3733. Obviously, the GoingFor2 team. Shout out to Ryan real quick for encouraging me to apply. So thank you again for helping get me onto this journey with you guys. It's been nothing but fun and entertainment. And then during the NFL season, I also do the weekly kind of like a stardom sit-em with Couch Potato GM, but that's my main go-tos, and look forward to answering any trade questions. I'm also going to start delving a little bit deeper on the GoingFor2 side with the IDP, anything with the IDP, signings, free agencies, any type of waiver wire, those types of things. I'm happy to provide the advice.
Good stuff. Alex?
Yeah, so you guys can find me on Twitter at Mr. Fantasy Dimes, right? I do a little bit of everything, really, to be honest. But I think my specialty there is going to be MMA Twitter, right? So I'm big on MMA. I'm big on betting and wagers, too. It's something I enjoy that I do all the time. I do a lot of NFL. I'll be doing value for GoingFor2.com. So check that out whenever it comes out. And that being said, yeah, follow me at Mr. Fantasy Dimes, NFL, MMA, and sprinkle in some NBA and stuff, right? So
Good stuff. Brad, where can we follow you at?
I can be found on Twitter at Armchair, and currently working on a Dynasty article about the fluctuating value of the life cycle of the rookie.
Good stuff. All right, Ryan.
Find me on Twitter, Ryan Foss at Foss534. Find me here every Tuesday, Sunday, and sometimes I just pop on. I'll be popping on whenever I feel like I get bored. Find me at the Dynasty Draft Room Dynasty podcast on Tuesdays now. I've been bamboozling of that. It's a good time. I hosted that last night. I'll be writing a prospect article for GoingFor2 and staying busy.
Good stuff. As always, guys, you can find me on Twitter at JeffLambert77. We had a packed show tonight. We went a little bit over our hour mark, but not too bad. I think we had a lot of fun tonight. So for Gladys, for Jared, for Alex, for Brad, for Ryan, I'm Jeff. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.